Firstly, mate, just a quick word on the jumper. How's it? What's your thoughts on it? The Clash strip?
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I reckon the fans
Bit of
like it. Yeah, a bit of history. Obviously, the Fitzroy and the Bears. So, yeah, it's going to be good to get this strip on this year. Yeah, obviously, I looked a bit on the media last night and there was a few fans, so it's pretty exciting.
How are you going with the pre-season training, third year? Like, what are your sort of goals for 2015?
Well, actually, I haven't personally completed one yet. I've had a few niggles the last two, so I'm just hoping to, get through this one fully, and I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. So far, we've had a couple of hard sessions, and over the off-year, we had a fairly big group of boys training down at Morningside, about 15 of us, so we obviously got into it pretty early, and yeah, looking forward to it.
How many weeks did you do that for, the Morningside session?
We were there about 3 weeks probably. We obviously had about 4 weeks off after the season finished and got away and things like that, and then slowly got back into training, so yeah, it's starting to ramp up.
It seems to be a good feeling, especially amongst younger blokes, that core of young fellas that have been around for a couple of years now, and also I suppose the second year players this year. Yeah, well, the younger group of boys are pretty tight. I mean, anywhere from, the second year to up to Roe Buick and even Zorks, they're around 25 now. That group of boys were pretty tight. And even older, Jed was down there running with us as well, and yeah, it's just a good bond between the boys at the moment. Must have been great to see, especially during the off-season, the club being so proactive in the trading period too, and recruiting a couple of, a few gun players too, with Beams and Christensen and now Mitch Robinson as well. Yeah, it's definitely adds a bit of depth to our side. With them blokes coming in, I think it's important that the blokes training at the moment, the 2nd to 4 years kind of thing, it's up to us to lift the standards and drive the standards from the bottom up, so that you obviously know the senior boys are going to hold their own up there. It's up to us younger players to lift the standard as well.
It's pretty warm out there at the moment. How do you go training in this sort of heat?
I don't mind it. I reckon the Brisbane weather's perfect. It's obviously pretty hot. You get used to it a little bit, but yeah, we train pretty early, so get it over and done with and back to the club and get into the gym and do that sort of stuff.
I noticed the footies were out there earlier and a fair bit of running. Obviously at this stage of the year it is mostly running.
Yeah, majority conditioning stuff. Obviously try and get your body into some pretty good shape. Probably the conditioning starts to tone down around late January kind of thing, and then you ramp up the footy side of things and get into the contested stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of running, and there's some fit blokes getting around at the moment.
We touched on earlier about the new recruits to the club and a couple of midfielders certainly coming in. I mean, do you feel that threatens your spot of maybe holding down a spot in the midfield this year?
Not really. I guess it just means I've just got to ramp it up another notch. I mean, versatility is one of my main things, and I can play anywhere over the ground. So yeah, it's just, I guess it comes down to personally just improving myself and trying to clamp a spot down.
You had a bit of success up forward early last year, Sam. Yep. Do you feel like that half forward, a forward line spot could be your sort of, you could settle in there? Yeah,
that half forward mid spot's definitely what I'll be looking to go for this year. Definitely love being around the goals and the group they've got up there within the Mosquito fleet and stuff like that. It's pretty exciting to be up forward, so we'll see how I go there.
Lepo put you back a little bit last year too, saying you played a bit everywhere. What did you learn from playing that in the back half that you think might go and help you this season?
I guess just the way you play as a backman, how tight you have to play on the forwards and stuff like that. You can learn a thing or two about just, I guess, how to break away from the defenders and stuff like that. So it's definitely a good learning curve for me to get that kind of exposure down back and hopefully translate that up the other end.
It's going to be pretty tight for spots though, isn't it? You want that half forward, like Christensen plays there, Beams plays mid and half. Like, is there going to be enough room for everyone, do you think?
I guess it's just going to be the blokes that put in the most work and the blokes that are in the form that get the spots. So yeah, it just comes down to, I guess, your form.
Do you think it'll feel competitive in the off season to win those spots?
It already does. It's going to be a competitive pre-season, and yeah, I guess when it comes to the trial matches and things like that, it's going to ramp up even more. But even just in the running and stuff out there, you see blokes around your position and you think, shit, I've got to beat these. So yeah.
With the jersey, obviously with the white on there, there's been some backlash on social media for it, and maybe not much of a Brisbane Bears coverage on it. I mean, what are your thoughts on playing in the white?
Oh, like I said before, I like the Guernsey. I guess I just hope the fans like it, and that's all that really matters.
There'll be no thoughts amongst the boys about changing some of the words to the song? I mean, White's not in the song, so what are you going to do on that day?
I'm not really sure, mate. We'll leave that up to the hierarchy, I think.